I'm going to take you through some of the main digital channels that require writing, which are blogs, website content, ad copies, emails, Instagram descriptions. There are many more. There are responses to consumers. There is Twitter. There are copies that are there for Google Ads. A lot more stuff that requires content. Content is also required for offline channels like hoardings, magazines. Okay, but today we are just going to focus on these few channels that you can see right in front of you, and let's just try to get the basics of all this right. So then you can build on it and explore on your own, learn more. This is definitely something that's going to help you if you want to get into content writing. Why do you think content writing is so important? You've heard this, that content is the king. Why? Because every brand that wants to go online now requires powerful content. This content has the potential to attract people. These people may or may not be the customers at the moment when the communication is going up. Okay? So potential customers see this communication and are ready to engage with the brand. It increases the engagement of people. That is why content writing is important. Whatever customers are already there, content has the power to engage them again, nurture them, help them to come to you and buy again and again and again. If your customers have a problem, or if a customer has a problem with a brand, or a brand has a problem with some of the customers, or any situation out there, then content is something that can solve that problem. Content is something that can communicate the problems, and content is something that can help a brand communicate the solutions as well. So it communicates what the brand wants, it communicates what the customers want. So it's a two-way process. So content does all of this and much more. And that is why content writing is extremely important in today's world. When I sit down to write content, this is how I spend my time. So if I want to write about a niche, I first strategize. Okay, I think about what kind of content can go out, what would people love, how should I put out my message in the best possible way that would be accepted by the target audience. Then I read whatever is already written within that niche on the same topics and what others are trying to say. So I read all of that. I do some research. I look at the stats that are available. I look at things that I can add on my own. Okay, something unique that I can come up with. So I do all this research. Once that is done, then I go to my head, team lead, my boss, and I tell them, hey, I think this is the right way to put out this message. These are the points that we can cover. This is something that people have already done that we can either follow, or we can add these new things to the same piece of communication to make it more innovative, interesting, and relevant. Once all of that is approved, then the actual writing process begins. So then I create a structure. I put in all my strategy, reading, and research into it. Once the structure is ready, I start typing out the entire stuff. Once that is done, there's proofreading, and then once all of this is done, publishing is what happens. So if you are looking to become a content writer, these are the things that you would have to do as well. One of the most important things that you need to think of when you're writing content for a brand is the tone of the content. So quickly read both these pieces that are there in front of you. I'll give you 2 minutes and tell me what is different between them. Who are these two content pieces targeting? So like you can see, the Armani content is more geared towards a more mature target audience, maybe someone in the age of 40s, 50s, 60s, okay, who prefers that kind of language, who has that kind of money to get the products that the brand wants to sell. While the Soul Store is a brand that is very quirky. The tone of content is very quirky, casual, because it wants to engage people who are in the age group of say 15 to 25, 30, people who are going to college, people who are going to schools, people who love pop culture. So one is a different tone of content for that particular target audience. The other is again a different tone of content. Same is the case with this. Read both this content again, 2 minutes. And tell me what difference you see between them. So you agree? Again, Titan is okay. Sorry. Yes, read this. So again, Titan is trying to cater to an audience that's more mature, that is of a higher age group and of a higher income bracket. Okay. Well, fast track is more towards casual audience, okay, adventurers. So both the brands have placed their products differently. They sell the same thing, watches, but again, the tone of content is what defines how the brand is perceived by the audience. Now, just like the tone, we also need to take care of the vocabulary. So every niche has its own vocabulary. The food industry has its own set of words. Delicious, flavorsome, tasty, full of flavor, all these words. And these are the words which are used in advertisements. Look, heavenly Chinese, magical flavors. These are the words that you'll find in a lot of ads across the spectrum of publishing. Brochures, newspapers, digital ads, social media. Same with the case of automobile industry. It has its own set of vocabulary: speedy, fast, flashy, showing. All these words are used in their ads somewhere. So look at this Pontiac Grand Prix ad: comfortable, sleek, rich. These are the adjectives which define the cars, which define the automobiles. Similarly with beauty and wellness industry: soft, soothing, rejuvenating, relaxing, healthy, strong, moisturized, beautiful, glowing. Oh, and these are the words which you see across the marketing channels. Better skin, see brighter, smoother skin in just one week. So you need to, have this vocabulary ready with you when you're writing for a brand of a certain niche. Here's your first activity of the day. I want you to write 5 adjectives that you could use if you had to write a copy for a clothes brand. So you work for a clothes brand and your niche is the fashion niche, and you need these 5 adjectives that you can use in all of your ads or social media posts or marketing channels which require content. So quickly take 2 minutes, write them down, tell me in the chat box which words you have selected. Elegant, trendy, fashionable, comfortable, classy, okay, stylish, modern, funky, chic, gorgeous. Great responses. Got a hang of it. Great. Keep these words with you. Will require them as we move ahead. Wow. Okay, those who have written your words, amazing. Those who have not, please quickly write them down. We'll need them, I repeat. So things that you need to keep in mind when you're writing copies for brands is that your grammar is perfect. You do not make any typographical errors. Imagine you are writing a content for an ad that is going to be showcased to thousands of people across the country and maybe millions of people across the world, and you make silly typographical mistakes. That is not going to reflect well on any brand that you write for. So you need to make sure that your grammar and your typos are not there. I mean, grammar is perfect, typos are not there. Then that your content is readable. Your message shouldn't be lost in all the jargon and the complex words that you're using. Okay? Your message should be clear enough to the target audience. Ensure that your audience caters to the target audience. So if you want to write for an audience that is living in South India with the age within the age bracket of say 50 to 70, your language has to be such. If your audience is college-going kids who are living in North India, or who are of a specific gender, your message will change according to the target audience. So this is something you need to keep in mind. Word limit is another thing that you need to take care of. So if you're writing Google ad copies, there's a certain word limit. If you're writing a website copy, you'll have only set amount of space that you can put your content in. So your word limit is something that's very important for you. And you need to know in how many words do you need to put in that message. Also ensure that you do not copy paste content, you do not plagiarize content from anywhere, because Google does not like plagiarized content. Your websites will rank lower, or there might be some copyright issues as well somewhere. So if you want to be a good writer, write your own content. That is the best way to put out great content out there. So all this is great. You have seen the tone, the vocabulary, you have all that in place, the things to keep in mind. Now I want to tell you how you can create a great blog. So I'm just going to show you first the titles. Titles of the blogs are very important. Why? If someone wants to read your blog, they'll first check out the title. If your title is something that they like, only then will they engage with your content. If the title is something that does not attract the reader, they are never going to click on it and reach your content. Okay. Now, within titles, there are a lot of different kinds of titles that work very well. So first of them is the titles with numbers. 6 tips to write catchy blog posts. 100 plus blog posts. Now, this numbers tell me as a reader exactly how much information am I going to get. If I want less amount of information, I'll go with something that's like 5, 6, 10 tips. If I want more amount of information, I'll go with something that says 100 plus blog post titles, 200 plus blog post titles. Okay. The next variety of titles is how-to titles. How to write powerful titles for your blog post, how to write catchy titles, how-to questions are also very attractive to readers, because somewhere they have this question in their mind about how to do a particular thing, and that is why these titles work very well. Same, you could ask questions in your titles that people actually are thinking about. Should I start a blog? 11 big reasons why you should. Is blogging worth it? No, you might have a lot of different questions like this when you're searching. And if the title of your blog reflects that question exactly like it is, you have got yourself a reader. The next kind of titles that are very effective are resource guides, the ultimate guide to blogging, the beginner's guide. So this tells me the level of knowledge that a particular blog is trying to convey. So if I am starting at something, okay, so I'll go with a beginner's guide to cooking pizzas, a beginner's guide to repairing my phone. But if I'm an expert at something, I would rather prefer to go with the ultimate guide or the expert's guide to do something. So resource guide titles tell me what level of information I'm going to get from this blog. Hey, uh, is there a lot of noise in the background or? Yeah, okay. So give me a moment. I'll just shift my place to a more quieter, silent place. Okay. Have patience. Give me a minute. Thank you for letting me know. Hi. Let me know if this is better. Okay. The next kind of titles are titles with power words. So words that create an impact, like profitable, guaranteed, wildly successful, outlandish. So these are the words that attract the end reader or someone who's searching on the internet. So from all the titles which are there, if I see such words, they immediately, get me focused on that title. And if I like the title, the descriptions, I would immediately click on it and engage with the content. So once you have your titles in place, okay, you have written some great copy for the title. It's time to structure your blog. Now your blogs can have a variety of structures, and that's the beauty of it. But over the years, this is the structure that I have experienced to work the best for both, for the readers as well as for the search engines like Google. I'll tell you why this is so effective. Let's start with the structure first. You start with an introduction. You introduce the topic that you are writing about. Once you have introduced it, put some stats there. So that builds, a nice numerical credibility. So by stats, I mean 5% of people have said this, 90% of the CEOs of a niche believe in this, 70% of companies are doing this. And when you put the stats, you put in a hyperlink to the source of some high authority website. Okay, let me simplify. So for example, if I've taken some statistics from a website like Harvard Business Review or the Times of India, these are the websites that people actually, trust. And because people trust these websites, people trust the data that comes from this website. And when you cite this data inside your article, okay, inside your blog, then it creates an automatic credibility for the blog you are writing. So you introduce the topic, you put in some stats, and you put some hyperlinks to the source from where you have taken the stat. Once your introduction is done, then you start with a listicle. So you create a main headline that reflects what you're writing about. Inside that main headline, you have point headlines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can have as less point headlines or as many as you want. It doesn't matter. And within each point headline, you elaborate each point. And then once your listicle is complete, you conclude the topic. You summarize the entire thing. And then you put in a CTA, a call to action. Now, why is a call to action important? Because otherwise, why are you writing a blog? Okay. Give the user some action to do at the end of the blog. It could be something like enroll for a course, buy a product, or it could be as simple as look at some other blog that you have written that the person is interested in. Take them to something, something that you think is relevant for them. So ensure you have a CTA. Now I'll show you an example of a blog that follows this structure. This blog was ranking number 1 on Google. Why did it rank? Look at the headline. 4 reasons why your company needs digital transformation. Okay, so there is a number headline, which is followed by an introduction to the topic. I'm introducing the entire digital transformation topic and what it is about. After which I have taken a stat, 15 industries, 47% of CEOs, 56%, all these are stats. And I've linked the survey from which I've taken this. I've, I think, taken this from the Harvard Business Review website, so which is a very trustable source for people. So I've put in the hyperlink to a high authority website. I've put in the stats here. Once this is done, then there's the main headline, importance of digital transformation for businesses, because this is something I'm talking about. This is the main topic of my blog. This is followed by point headlines, 1, 2, 3, 4, as many as I needed. Okay, and each of them talks about a certain aspect of digital transformation. And once all my point headlines are done, I've elaborated each of them. Okay, there's a paragraph that explains each of these point headlines. And once all this is done, once the listicle is done, I've put in a conclusion. I've summarized the entire blog. Okay, and after this, I have put in a nice CTA, that is get in touch with us, which is taking the people towards another page that has the relevant, information that I want to send people to. Now, why this kind of structure works is because for the people, it is easy to understand because it is segregated in all this way. People are getting short chunks of content to read. That means they are easy. I mean, they find it easy to, digest it, read it, understand it. It's not one long academic essay. Let's understand it from the perspective of the search engines. Now, if someone puts in a query about digital transformation for business, what Google will do is just pick up my point headlines, 1, 2, 3, and put it as a listicle in front of the user. If a user puts in a search query about a rapidly changing pace of digital technology, Google will take just the point headline and the paragraph inside that and show it to the user as a snippet. So see, Google also understands what part of your article is relevant to be showcased to the user. And if Google can find these kind of snippets inside your structure, it will show it to the user right on top. This means more number of people can see it, and there's a higher chance that they will click on it and engage with your content. Okay, this is the structure that I think has the power to work very nicely. Some of the useful tools that you can use is here. One of them is Grammarly, which is very popular. I'm sure a lot of you already use that. It takes care of all your grammar and sentence structures and everything. So that's. Then we have Readable. Readable gives you a readability score. It tells you how simple your article is, how easy it is to understand, if you're giving out the right message or not. Okay, so put your blogs inside the Readable text box on the Readable website and see what is trying to tell you, and you can work on its feedback to create even better article. Readability score is free. All of these tools are free. Then you have small SEO tools. Inside small SEO tools, there are a lot of different tools. One of them is the article rewriter, which I find very useful. What you can do is, if by chance you need to, take some content from somewhere else because you are in a hurry, you just need to copy paste the content, but you don't have time to actually rework it. You don't want to plagiarize, but sometimes you are in that situation where you need to take some content from somewhere. You put it in article rewriter and it will automatically rephrase it for you. Now this is not very successful. Okay, sometimes it gives out very bad results. It takes you some 20, 30, 40% there. Okay, you still have to then rework on it, but then it's a good tool to just have an initial article rephrasing done for yourself, so you can check that out. There's also thesaurus.com that gives you synonyms of all the popular words that you need to replace in your writing, or you need to find better words for your content. You can obviously go to thesaurus.com, check out the alternatives and see which words are more relevant for your message. Okay, here's the next activity for you. I'll give you 5 minutes. Take your time. Okay, you need to write a structure. I know you can't write an entire blog right now, so I just want you to create some points for a blog that you would write for your clothes brand. So just tell me the points that you would put in the introduction. What are the points, the point headline that you would put in the listicle? What kind of conclusion you would have? Okay, what would the CTA lead to? So just take your pen paper, take 5 minutes, just work on it. Do you still need more time? Let me know. Would you write about a certain product that's maybe launching, or a product line that you're having, or would you rather write about the entire brand? Think whatever topic you have with you, what would be the best way to put it on your website so that everyone can understand it, the search engines, the people, and that it's interesting for them. Okay, those who have not yet written this, take your time. I'm moving forward. So you can keep writing, you can keep taking notes. Okay. Let's move on to how to write website content. When you're writing for websites, before you start writing, two things are very important. One of them are the keywords. So if you want to rank your website on search engines like Google, you need to have the right kind of keywords in place within the content when you're ranking, when you want to rank. So when you're writing, these keywords will be given to you by your digital marketers. These words will ideally be given to you by your digital marketer, or you can look for them yourself if you know how to do it. The next thing that's very important is the website content, the layout. Your web developer or the UI designer will give you the layout to tell you what kind of places are available on the website. So once you have this, you ideally know, okay, hey, there's a text description that I want to write. It is some 150 200 words, and I have that much space to put in the content that has the message. I have 4 images and I can write 3 lines below that. Okay, maybe 2 words, 3 words each. So I know what kind of content goes where, what is the purpose, what is the context that it is going to be seen by users. So I see all of these things when I have the layout with me. So keywords and layout. When you are actually writing the content, okay, you need to take care of some things. One of them is use the words that your users use. Read both these pieces of content that are there in front of you. For the person who does not understand digital marketing, which one of them is more understandable? Tell me in the chat box. Second one. Why? Because that person may or may not know what is SEO or what is the other jargon that we use in the field. Okay, but if you simply write it as you will help your website appear in front of your customers, it is understandable even for someone who is not in the field of digital marketing. So use the words that your users use. It's easier for them to understand your message. Even if someone who's there in the field reads the second copy, that person is still going to understand what you're trying to say. Second, chunk your content. Reduce your content into short blocks. Okay, a website nowadays, a lot of people see them on their mobile screens. A long content is very difficult for them to grasp. Keep it short. Chunk it into short blocks. Ensure your message can reach them within this much space, and this will be more understandable by them. Next, take care that you top load the important information, okay? Or let's frame it in this way: the more generic information goes on top, the less generic or more detailed information goes at the bottom. For example, if you're planning a conference, now if someone visits your page, give him all the general information first. What is the conference about? What is it aiming to do? Why are you organizing it? All the broad information. Now, if someone is interested, they will scroll down and then you give them the specifics. How to register, what are the registration fees, exactly when it is happening, what is the commitment that the user has to do. Okay, so all these detailed things, take them down. So general information on the top, more detailed information on the bottom. So you can arrange your website content in this way. It's easier for people to just get what they want. If they're not interested, they can just bounce out. If they're interested, they can actually go down. And there are a lot of different ways to ensure that the people actually read till the bottom. Okay, but for the basics, just try to have this kind of structure. Use active voice instead of passive voice. What this does is it helps your content seem conversational. It seems that if you're talking to the user, you're ensuring that they are there with you, and it's not just something passive that's happening in the background and you don't care whether the user engages with you or not. You keep it active voice. Okay, it makes the content more of a conversation thing that's there. So it's easy for someone to just be there, read it, feel there in the moment. Use short and simple sentences. A very good example is right there in front of you. Read both these pieces of content and tell me which is easy to understand, which is easy to grasp. Okay, take a minute, read both of them. Second one, easy to understand because it's short, because it's simple, okay, because it's chunked. Okay, while the first is just a long drone of content which I find very boring to read, and I'm sure a lot of users do as well. Okay. The attention span is short. That is the most important thing. It's not that you cannot write a long form content, but if it's a novel, it's a different thing. But when you're writing for an online audience, they have a lot of different things to distract them, and that is why you need to get right to the point. Okay, keep it short, keep it simple. Make sure your message reaches in the minimum amount of time. Okay. Use clear headlines and subheadings. Compare products, explore the Fitbit app, join the 3 words, 2 words. That's all. Okay, that's all they are writing to send the message across. Even the sentence below that, take a quiz to see which watch or tracker is right for you. Learn why people love it. Connect with fellow Fitbit users. All of these are short, to the point, clear, concise subheadings. Okay, so the more clearer you write, the easier it is for audience to understand. Never forget, even if it's a website, the brand tone remains. Whatever communication goes out for the brand, website, ad copies, brochures, ebooks, anything and everything requires you to use the brand tone. It should be consistent across all the communication channels. So your website also needs to use the same brand tone that is used by the brand in every communication they have. Here's the next activity for you. Suppose this is the website that you are writing the content for. It's a restaurant's website, and they want to tell the reader that, hey, you can host your next event at our place, but you need to tell why. Okay, you need to include some pointers that will attract the readers and take them towards the next step in the marketing journey of this restaurant. So quickly take a few minutes and think what you can write here. You can share those with me in the chat box, and let's see what all you come up with. So if you can judge from the space, you have somewhere around say 75 to 100 words that you can put in there. Okay. So you can plan your message that way. So your aim here is two things actually. One, to attract the reader, give information, and tell them all those things that you want to within this space. So let's see what the site actually had. This was the content that's there. Take a minute, read through it. So you see, they are telling the kind of events that you can have: private parties, corporate and press events, weddings, and other celebrations. Then they're talking about the capacity. 5 to 500 people they can accommodate. Then they're talking about the spaces that they have. They have private event spaces, which are 4 in number, and these spaces can be used for any occasion that you want to celebrate. You can book individual places, or you can use all the 4 spaces to have a great big space that you can use. Then they're talking about the food, they're talking about the menu, okay, and they're talking about the service. So all of this information is given to us within this one paragraph. Interesting. So this is something that you should be aiming to do. Okay, let's try to learn how to write Google Ads. Now you may not write Google Ads, maybe ever, or some of you might go into that field, but just understand the basics of it because it is very interesting. You can check this tool out. The name is Karuya. What it does is, when you put in all the things here, these are the things which are required for Google Ads: final URL, headline 1, headline 2, headline 3, the path, the description, all of these things. So each of these things have a word limit: 30 characters, 30 characters, 90 characters. So what this tool does is, when you put in your copy here, it shows you exactly how the copy will look as a Google ad on the right hand side. So as you start typing, your Google ad will start appearing here. Okay, so this is an interesting tool that you can use to practice your Google ads. Karuya is also free. So when you are thinking about writing Google ads, this is how you can approach it. One, you can mirror the user's objectives. Look at this ad copy in front of you. So someone who's searching, a searcher wants to sell a car. He has his own car, he has used it for a long time, and now he wants to sell it. So this ad is by a brand who is ready to buy his car. And look at the ad copy. Simple: Caravana, brand name, wants to buy your car. Now they've given me an incentive and we'll pick it up for you. So that means me, as a searcher or as someone who wants to sell the car, knows that I don't have to go there and deliver my car. They'll just come to me and pick it up for me. Okay, so interesting. One great point right there in the headline. So then I just read the copy after that. And then they give me more incentives. Just enter your VIN or license plate, get a real offer, not fake. We'll come to you. You'll get a check on the spot or credit towards one of our 10,000 plus cars. All credit accepted. All of this is an incentive for me. 4.8 star reviews is building credibility for me. No haggling, another incentive. They're giving me incentives so that I click on the ad and go to the site, engage with the service. So what they are trying to do is, they are trying to mirror the objective of the user, and you can do that too. The next thing you can do is use numbers. 80% off, 46% off, flat 50% off. These numbers are again very attractive and very eye-catching. So if I am getting a hotel at 80% off, okay, I will click on the ad and see what the hotel is offering, what does the offer, can I get it at a cheaper rate if I'm looking to travel. So number ads work really well. The next thing is use emotional triggers. Now, this brand, Boston Laser Liposuction, could have put out a very crass ad that said, you want to get thin, get liposuction. If you're fat, get liposuction. But no, look at how they've played with the emotional triggers and given a very positive feel to the entire ad. Restore the natural contours of your body, bring out your best self, minimally invasive, more affordable, total body transformation. All of this is something that is giving it a very positive vibe. Plus, they're building credibility, 50 plus locations worldwide. Another incentive is free consultation. Okay. So, using emotional trigger, ensure that their ad reaches a person who is using this service or needs to use this service in a way that appears positive. You can use the same points for writing blogs as well. Emotional triggers are a very powerful tool that you can use actually for any content piece that you have. Next is use conversion words like power words. Best car rental prices, guaranteed. So words like guaranteed or power words or words that attract, that create an impact are something that you can include in your ads. So if you go to Google and type out power words or conversion words, you'll get a long list of these words, and then you can choose which ones to use. So this is one thing that you can do after the session ends. And do not forget your keywords. Your digital marketer will kill you if you do that, because keywords is something that is very important for Google to show your ads. So it is one of the factors that decides whether your ads are shown to a particular user or not. So their keywords in the ad that you can see right now are make my trip, holiday, offers, best deals, online discounts, hotel. So if me as a searcher searches for affordable hotels in Goa, offers on hotels in Goa, or best deals on Goa trip or something like that. Since my search query matches the keyword that's there in your ad copy, it's likely that I might see your ad right there in front of me. Okay, so one of the factors. Fun time. Your next activity says write a Google ad copy for selling t-shirts for the clothes brand that you have been working for all along. Okay, so now you actually want to sell t-shirts by paying Google, by showing ads to people who are looking for t-shirts or maybe something to buy to wear for a certain function. And you can quickly write down some pointers for headline 1, 2, 3, some descriptions, some pointers. Tell me in the chat box, what do you think would attract users? What do you think would, make them click on your ad? So quickly take 5 minutes, write some great things. I'll give you some time. And you can include all these points. You can include emotional triggers, numbers, keywords you think are appropriate. Go ahead. Quick, give me some good ad copies. %10 off on branded t-shirts, trendy t-shirts at affordable price. Okay, best deals on winter wear. 50% off on orders above 1,000. Okay. T-shirts that get you through the day. %60 off, 50% discount, premium quality t-shirts at affordable prices. Great, good stuff, good stuff. Nice. Happy with all your responses. Okay, let's move towards the next topic. How to write emails. Ready? Take a bath, drink some water, get a bit fresh. Why are emails so important? Tell me. Emails have the power to reach the consumer in their inboxes. Okay? So it is not just a mass advertisement that you are doing, kind of. I mean, bulk emails are that, but again, if your content is right, you can make it appear as if you're talking to that person, only that person. You can go to the inbox, grab their attention, tell what you want to tell. Let's see how businesses are doing. So there are two major kinds of emails, okay, categories. One are the transactional emails that tell some important information, and others are the promotional emails that tell about offers and deals and all the great incentives that you want people to know. When you are writing emails, ensure that they are short, they're simple, and they're personalized. No one likes to read long emails or emails that are very difficult to comprehend or emails which appear as if they have been done in bulk. Okay? If you can personalize your message to the user, you have won the battle. So let's try to understand each of these emails, how they are written. Okay, what are the things that you need to include in them? Like for blogs, titles are very important. For emails, the subject lines are very, very important. Because from all the plethora of emails that you have in your inbox, your subject line is something that is going to attract the reader to stop, wait, read, click, and engage with your content. For transactional emails, the subject lines are very clear. They tell me exactly the kind of thing I'm going to get. Email account statement of your HDFC bank for this day. New bill from Adani Electricity. Payment for train booking has failed. So the subject line itself is telling me that, hey, this is something important. This needs your attention. There's a new bill. The train booking has failed. This is an email statement. Okay, this is something that we need to know. These are the subject lines of transactional emails. Look at both these emails. They're both transactional emails. Okay? Both good examples. Look at how concise they are, how clear they are, how relevant they are. Okay. Hi Ashna, we have shipped your order. Order ID is this. It's expected to reach you on this day by this date. And there's a nice button that says, hey, you can track your order. Okay, if you have any questions, call us here. Or there's another email. Tap the button below from a mobile device to finish logging into Spotify. Again, instruction, some CTA, some more information. Now, on the other hand, see, transactional email is something that people would inherently open because it's important to them. But promotional emails, who opens them just because they feel there's some information for them there? Okay, you need to attract the user with your headlines. You need to have that kind of content that even though someone does not want to open the email, they open your email. So it's much more difficult in getting people to open promotional emails, and that is why your content has to be something that is super attractive. Look at these subject lines. This premium show has been made free for you. Stay safe while we keep you entertained. Okay, this sounds something new. I might click on it. Delicious offers that are on the cards. Again, something that's maybe exciting or something that I'm looking forward to. Now, look at the first subject line. I've now specifically chosen this from all my emails because you see the comma that's there right in the beginning. Now, this is a typographical error. The person who sent the email has done this, and this email might have gone out to thousands of people, millions of people out there, and all of them are getting an email from one of the most popular brands that has this kind of typographical error. How do you think this would reflect on the brand? Not well, right? So you need to take care that you do not commit such mistakes. Now, these promotional emails are personalized, insightful, attractive, telling the user to take some kind of action. Both of these emails are good examples. I've put both of them here because I want to tell you that it's not necessary that you always have good animations and good design. You can just use words and still make a good promotional email. This wiki ad is obviously good looking also, and it has a good copy also. Looking for an offer, you don't have to look very far. We have rounded them up here right for you. Good copy, informal copy, attractive, has a nice CTA. While the second email again, hopefully this email finds you well during these crazy times. I just wanted to tell you, see, it's personalized. I wanted to tell you if you have recently deployed new writing algorithm, it's an update, okay, which is interesting for me. And you can find the examples of this new algorithm on our website, a nice CTA there, okay, a link to the website. And then they're giving me a new trial period. Okay, so again, a good promotional email. Simple, nice, subtle, personalized, attractive. Okay. Another activity. Your clothes brand has launched this t-shirt that you see right there in the picture. And you have to write an email, a promotional one, to tell your potential customers that, hey, we have got this t-shirt and maybe you should check it out. So when you're ready after COVID to travel, you can definitely have this as a part of your wardrobe. So take a few minutes, take your pen and paper, write down a nice subject line, a nice email copy, tell me what will you come up with. Remember, you should feel like you want to click and engage with it. Okay, if you don't like it yourself, others are not going to like it, definitely. think of what points you can tell people to attract them towards the product, or how would you appeal to their concerns about buying this t-shirt. Use your current affairs, use your customer insights, what kind of people, what kind of target audience are you sending the email to. Think of all those things while framing your content. Think of the brand tone that you would use. Okay, I've got some great responses, good subject lines. If you have written them well and fine, if you have not, you can always, work on it later. No issues. Now let's go on to another interesting topic. And this is something that a lot of you always wait for. So Instagram is a photocentric website, a platform, I mean, no doubt. But then content that's there below that, below your creative, also does play some important role, in giving out information, attracting readers, increasing the visibility of your posts. So let's try to see what works for Instagram, what does not. Okay. A lot of people ask me about how long should they put Instagram descriptions. Should it be long? Should it be short? And my answer to them is this. You can keep your descriptions as long as you want it or as short as you want it, but make sure that they are consistent with your brand tone. Now, pages like Humans of NY, Humans of Bombay have long storylines, long stories only, okay, inside the descriptions. But do people engage with it? Yes. Are people interested to read it? Yes. On the other hand, brands like Coca-Cola have posts that have descriptions that just say goodbye tan lines, hello, spring break, short, but still equally attractive. So it doesn't matter whether your copy is long or short. Just make sure that you keep it consistent with the tone of your brand, with the feel of your brand, and by understanding what the users want out of you. Then write your important stuff first. So Instagram has a habit of truncating content that's there below. If you write a long description, you will get something like read more or more. Okay, and the rest of your content is gone unless someone actively clicks on the more button. So whatever message that you want to convey to people, put it right in the beginning of your description. Okay. Then include a call to action. So Instagram posts are an amazing way to make your audience do something for you. You could tell them to double tap if you find something funny or interesting in your story, okay, or you can tell them to share your story in the comments. Why do all this? Because to increase engagement. The more engagement that your post has, the wider number of people see. Now, this is not about personal pages that you have kept private. We are talking about Instagram descriptions for brands or for pages that are public. So you want as wide visibility as possible. And for that, you can include call to actions, tell people to like, share, comment, be a follower for your accounts. You could do all of that in your stories or your posts or your reels. Ask questions. Again, another good way to increase engagement. all you need for a weekend getaway, where would you go? Question mark. Okay. So someone would, read about this and comment about what they feel, where they want to go, answers to all of this, which again increases an engagement for the post, which again leads to a higher visibility of your post. If you want to take people towards your product or your service or something that's not there on Instagram, you have it somewhere else, you can tell them to go to the link in your bio and lead them to that page. Now, why do you have to use this workaround? Is because Instagram does not allow you to put hyperlinks to a website or to an external platform inside your comments. So the only place that Instagram allows this is your bio page, where in your description you can write a hyperlink that's clickable. So you can take people to your bio page or your home page, if you can call it that, and from there they can click on the link that you have put there and go towards your product or service that you want to show them. Okay. Again, another way to increase engagement is to invite people to tag their friends. It's Scrabble day. Tag some friends you'd like to play with. Tag. So again, tagging is something that increases visibility. So the person you tag sees the post, the people they tag see the post. Okay, their friends see the post. Instagram understands, hey, these are the people that are liking it. Maybe I can show it to more of their friends and see if they are liking it as well. So this keeps on happening, and more number of people keep on getting your post. More number of people keep on reading a description to tag more people, and this again increases the engagement and visibility of your post. Another popular question that I always get is, how many hashtags should we use? How should we use them? Should we use them or not? Of course you should use them. Hashtags are great for discoverability. If someone wants to look for hashtags origami workshop, hashtag digital marketing course, hashtag nature, your posts can be visible to people who are searching for them. Now, there are two ways that you can put hashtags. One is within your description in a very creative way. Make hashtag Starbucks for life. Cheer last all year. Only 5 days left to play for a chance to win. So join hashtags my Starbucks rewards today. Again, part of the description very organically, it's flowing with the content. It's not something that's out of the world. Okay, so make sure your hashtags, if you're using it within your content, do not mess it up grammatically a lot. It's still readable. The second way that you can use it is under your entire description. So you write the description, and under that Instagram allows you to have, I think, 30 hashtags, and you can use all of them there. So use hashtags, but you don't need to use a lot of them. Okay, use only the relevant ones that are relevant to you, your audience, and the post that you're posting. This is something all of us should do, but we are not doing it. Use emojis. Why not? Instagram is a very casual platform. You have your keywords that allow you to put up emojis. Emojis are very attractive when you see them in the descriptions. So use them. Look at the creative description that these two brands have written. Nice waves, leaves, fish, hands, an emoji with specs. So even the text looks very attractive. Use emojis. It's a wonderful way to make people read what you're trying to tell. And let your descriptions complement your creative. If you're putting out a post that is about donuts, and if you're writing about jalebis and pani puris, it is not going to look good, right? Your writing has to complement your creative. It has to tell something that's related to the creative. So make sure you do that. Fun activity. Write an Instagram description for this post. So these are the t-shirts that your brand is putting in this post. Okay, your clothes brand that you have written a blog for, that you have written Google ads for, your same brand is now putting out an Instagram post, and it needs a wonderful description that can complement this creative. So take a few minutes, quickly write down the descriptions and share them with me in the chat box. Again, remember, this is something that you should like to read as well. So if you like it, then there's a possibility others might like it. Should the description be long or short for this? Can you write a one-page long essay for this post in the description? Short, right? I know. It has to be catchy, short, simple, clear, attractive. So I would like to end this session by sharing one of the most important tips for writing digital content. Okay, and this is guaranteed to work every time. And this is one of the best ways to learn content writing. Okay, it's not quick, but it is guaranteed to be successful. And this tip is read. Read everything you can lay your hands on. Read the brochures that you get, in your doctor's clinic. Read the newspaper, the SMSs, the hoardings that you see. Anything and everything that you can get your eyes on. Okay, the more you read, the better you can write. You understand a lot of different things, a lot of different copies. You'll understand what you like, what you don't like, what's working, what's not working. You'll get a perspective of how you can frame your content. So read more. The more you read, the better you can write every time. Okay, I've read a lot of books throughout my childhood. I still read a lot now. Okay, everything from novels to biographies, autobiographies. I read the emails that I get, the digital communication that I get across all the platforms. And all of this has given me a perspective on how things work on each and every platform. And if you read everything that comes to you, you can write very well. That's all from my side. Thank you.